All right, welcome to Vinyasa Flow, and let's take a moment to settle into Vajrasana on the shins. So you can have blocks underneath you. If your shins or feet are a little tight, you can prop up the hips, take a little bit of pressure off to begin our class tonight. Settle in, close the eyes, roll the shoulders back and down, palms face up. Find that seat that's balanced. Left sit bone, right sit bone. A slight tilt forward in the pelvis, lifting up the central axis of the body, feeling nice and tall, but the shoulders relaxed. And tune into the body today. Notice what you're feeling and perhaps what you'd like from today's class. And in today's class, we're going to be focused on the juncture of the limbs to the body. So if you focus on the arms join the body at the shoulders and the neck and the back, the chest, at the top of the spine. And the legs join the body at the hips, the low back, the abdominals, the obliques. So you feel these juncture points at each end of the spine. When these juncture points are opened up, when they're relieved of pressure and tension, the body starts to flow. And when the body flows, so too does the mind. So we're releasing the stagnation of the mind and the body as we work on the hips and shoulders. Inhale, reach the arms up, big stretch. Reverse the palms, interlace the fingers and push the palms to the sky. Reach up, big stretch. And then exhale, come forward into cat and cow. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And feel the limbs supporting you, and feel the hips and the shoulders allowing the fluidity of the spine here. Now, keeping the hips up, walk the hands forward into a big puppy stretch. Keep the hips up, drop the head down and bring the head and chest down through the arms. Reach through the hands, reach through the arms. Feel that big stretch through the shoulders. And then walking the hands back. Tabletop, extend the left leg back, drop the ball of the foot onto your mat and press out through the heel bone and stretch that left limb. Push through the heel bone, nice delicious stretch here. And then take the weight into the right knee and the right hand. Lift the hand onto the left hip. Bringing that left shoulder back, look up towards the ceiling. And then lift the left hand and lift that left leg. Just minding your balance here, but just feeling a little bit of focused attention here as you lift into that awkward star. Exhale, drop that left hand, drop the left knee, puppy stretch. Reach out through the arms, bring the head down, keep the hips elevated. So we're not coming down into child pose, but keeping the hips up into puppy stretch. Push down through the chest, feel that in the shoulders. And then inhale, come back to tabletop, let the limbs support you. Extend the right leg back this time, drop the ball of the foot, and press out through the right heel. Feel that stretch. Push a little more, open up that right leg, and then leaning into the left hand, the left knee, right hand, right hip, stack the right shoulder, and then play with your balance as you start to lift that right foot up, lift that right hand up, and feel a little bit of fun here as we start the class. Feel the shoulder, feel the hip, feel the aliveness. Exhale, drop the knee, drop the hand. One more puppy stretch, big stretch out. Bring the heart through. Try to bring the chest and the chin all the way to the mat. Oh, big stretch. Feel the shoulders, back of the shoulder blades. And then inhale, walk the hands back to Vajrasana with or without blocks to support you. And feel the posture. Feel the central axis of the body. Feel the openness of the chest from those first few movements. First few movements of the practice. Feel the breath. Inhale, tabletop. Extend the left leg back, drop the ball of the foot, press through the heel bone, get another delicious stretch through the calf, through the hamstring, and then float that left leg into the air. And exhale, bending the knee, bring the head to the knee. So really drop the head down, feel the back of the neck stretch out, traction out, as you drive the knee towards the head towards the knee. So getting a big rounding in the back, and then inhale, extend the leg out and look towards the top of the mat. So the head is moving as well as the limb. Let's try that again. Exhale, crunch, drop head towards knee, knee towards head, really rounding. Inhale, crunch, and then extend, looking towards the top of the mat. Take the weight into the left hand, lift the right hand. Bird dog pose. Feel the steadiness in bird dog. And then exhale, bring the elbow, right elbow to the navel, knee to the head, really crunch up here, drop that head, round the back. Inhale, extend, and then bend the left knee. Swing that right hand around and capture the left foot, and lift the knee. Lift the heart, and then release that left foot, right hand down. Bring the left knee out to the side, fire hydrant, and rotate the left knee about the hip. Let's open up that left hip, orbiting the left knee about the hip. And then reverse the direction. Reverse the direction. And the next time you come into fire hydrant, kick that left foot out awkwardly. Drop the foot onto the ground. Pinky toe grounded. Left foot lines up with right knee. And come into our awkward series here as we pulse the hips back and forth. starting to open up that left hip. Extend the range of motion as much as you can, bringing the hips forward and backwards. The next time you come back, come all the way back to awkward child. Drop the elbows. Now stack the hands, create fists, and rest the head. If your head can come lower, bring it lower. If it can come to the mat, bring it to the mat. Keep the pinky toe grounded. Keep that inner left thigh stretching. Inhale, come back to tabletop. Curl the toes of the right foot. Left leg still extended. Press back to awkward down dog. And just feel that for a moment. Let's stay here for a while and feel the deliciousness of awkward dog, especially on that right leg that's been bent for so long. Push the hips back. And then float the left foot back to the mat. Both feet on the back of the mat. Bent knee, downward dog. Lengthen through the wrists, elbows, and shoulders. Lengthen the arms. Feel your puppy stretch come in here. The knees are bent. You're bringing your chest down towards the knees, lengthening through the arms. Have that same feeling of puppy stretch, and then press the heels back into your downward dog. With that puppy stretch feeling in the chest, in the shoulders. And then walk the head forward, come into high plank. Not really walking the head, floating the head forward. High plank, drop knees, chest and chin, inchworm. Float the feet to the floor, hips to the floor, lift the head. Bring the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades, push the chest through, keep the elbows bent, and lift the torso with the back, not the hands. Feel cobra. And then exhale into child pose. Feel where the limbs join the body. Hips, shoulders. Feel the body waking up. Inhale, tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Extend the right leg back this time. Push out through the right heel. Stretching that right leg again. Right leg should be opening up by now. And then float the right leg up into the air. Drive out through the heel bone. And then come into the crunch. Now with the crunch, you want the knee to come forward, the head to come down. Really feel the spine doing its utmost to connect nose to knee. Inhale, drive out through the heel bone. Roll the right hip towards the ground and look towards the top of the mat. Try that again. Inhale, extend, this time adding left hand. Come into the double crunch here, bringing the elbow to the navel, knee to the head. Once again, extend bird dog. And this time sweep the left hand around, capture that right foot. Pull the right foot back, lift the right knee, lift the heart, lift the chin, and you feel that opening in the front of the body. Exhale, dropping the left hand, bring that right knee out to the side, fire hydrant. Let's work that right hip. Around the knee, around the hip for 1, 2, 3, and then back the other way for 3, 2, and 1. Now the next time the knee comes out to fire hydrant, kick that right leg out awkwardly. Drop the foot, lining up with the knee. Drop the pinky toe so you really feel that inner adductor stretch. Pulse forward and backward, increasing the range of motion as best as you can. Keep that right foot grounded, pinky toe grounded. And then if you can, come all the way back to awkward child, right leg extended. Head is grounded on hands, fists, or mat. Take some time here to really get into that stretch on that inner right groin. Feeling where that right limb joins the hip, hands under shoulders, keeping that right leg extended back to tabletop. And curl the toes of the left foot. We're going to come into awkward dog, pressing back. Now that left leg should feel a little more open as you press into the right hand, both legs straight, hips come back. And start to feel this chest coming down towards the ground, that puppy stretch kind of feeling as you step the right foot back to the mat, knees bent. Now the chest is trying to come down to the feet. Lengthen through the arms, lengthen through the spine, and then press the heels back and continue the puppy stretch forward with the chest. Float the head forward. Drop knees, chest, chin, inchworm. Inhale, cobra. And this time, as you come up, keeping the shoulders back, chest forward, elbows in, come up a little higher by pushing into the ground. So you add a little bit of assistance with the arms, feeling the triceps on fire here. Exhale, child pose. Inhale, come up into Vajrasana. And interlace the fingers, bend the elbows, and rotate the knuckles with the heel palms together, elbows together, giving the wrists a little bit of release, reverse direction. And swing the arms behind the back, interlace the fingers, straighten the arms, open the chest, lift the chin, bring the hands back a little more, feel your back bend, feel that opening in the chest, shoulders squeeze together. Now roll the belly down the thigh, bring the forehead to the mat, hands lift up over the back of the heart, lift up. Now lift the hips a little bit, tuck the chin and come onto the crown of the head into Yoga Mudra. Bring those shoulders back a little more, a little more, a little more. And then roll to the forehead. Feel the ribs on the thighs and start to roll back up the thighs, extending the arms back behind you, head over shoulders, shoulders over hips, and then release the hands, palms face up. feeling where the limbs join the body. Hips, shoulders, neck, back, chest, belly, back, low back. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right foot high to the sky, three-legged dog. Swing that right foot down to the right wrist, drop the left knee, kneeling here into dragon pose. Another big hip opener. Hands under heart. You can bring the hands onto blocks if you like. And in dragon pose, let's do some cat and cow. Inhaling, lifting the chin. Exhaling, rounding the spine. And start to feel that right hip opening up. Try to keep the right foot grounded the whole time. The right foot stays grounded, heel and ball. The next time you round, push the hips, walk the hands back. You can use blocks here. I'll use blocks for demonstration. Keep that front leg grounded, straightening that front leg as much as you can. Now lift the toes and sink back into half Hanuman. And this is where you can drop your head towards the knee while those toes, right toes are pulling back. Feel the back of that right hamstring, right calf. Head comes towards that right knee. And then walk the blocks or the hands back. Reground that front foot. Right knee over right ankle. Lift the gaze. Lift the hands, kneeling warrior. Strong stance here as you bring the hands out to the side into warrior twists. Left hand forward, right hand back. And then revolve twist unless you're pregnant. Come the other way. Inhale, come back to neutral. Reach up, look up, and then downward dog, left foot high. Three-legged dog, left foot high to the sky. Big step forward with that left foot. Keep the hands under the heart. Drop the right knee into dragon pose this side. And then lift the chin. Rotate the elbows in and forward. Strong arms. And then drop the chin around the back. The hips are going to pull back here. Tailbone is going to tuck. And continue moving the spine through cat and cow in your dragon pose. The next time you round, walk the hands all the way back. Pull the hips all the way back. Front leg straightens. Lift the toes of that front foot. Come back onto the back heel. Head comes towards that left knee. Toes, left foot, curl back. Feel the posterior stretch in the back of that left leg. Half Hanuman here. So getting lots of stretching in the limbs today to really open up the hips, low back. Walk the hands forward, drop the front foot, knee over ankle. Back hip flexor, back toes down, reach up, kneeling warrior. Twist, left hand forward, right hand back. Kneeling warrior, come back to center, and then revolve twist. Right hand forward, left hand back. Inhale, reaching up, kneeling warrior. Look up, a little back bend, hands down onto the mat, downward dog. High plank, drop knees, chest, chin, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. And walk the hands back to the feet. Inchworm. Forward fold, so you're at the back of the mat. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, prayer. Let me turn a little bit more light on here. That's better. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive to the earth. Inhale, hands to the shins, pike. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, prayer. Keep going with the sun breaths, eyes closed. Work with your breath, synchronizing breath with movement. Start to feel the hips letting go, the low back letting go. Feel the strength of the legs this time, letting the hips relax. Same with the arms. Feel the arms reaching up and flowering open so the shoulders and the neck can let go. Especially when you come into that forward fold. Really let the neck and shoulders go. But when you come up into reverse swan dive, make sure the legs take the weight, not the back. Don't let the back carry the weight here. Remember to lift the gaze in reverse swan dive so that the hips tilt forward, so that the legs and the quads push you up. Let the legs lift you up, not the back. Keep going. Meditate with the breath, with the sensations, with the movement. The next time you come back to Samatiti pose of attention, pause and feel. Feel the limbs connect to the body. Feel hips, shoulders, neck. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive to the earth, forward fold. Inhale, pike. Exhale, inchworm with your hands all the way out to plank. Rotate elbows in and forward, come down to chaturanga. Tuck the tailbone, and then inhale, up dog. Up dog. Push the chest forward. That's it. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot high to the sky, three-legged dog. Big step forward. Keep the left knee lifted this time, hands under the heart. Runner's stretch. Now in runner's stretch, you can have blocks underneath you if you like. Inhale, lift the gaze, and as you lift the gaze, drop that back hip down. And then exhale, round the back. And as you round the back, feel that front leg start to straighten. Try that again. Inhale, drop the back hip, lift the gaze. Exhale, round, and this time as you round, walk the hands back. You can use blocks here. I'm going to use blocks until both legs are straight. Get both legs straight. Heel grounded, both legs, both feet grounded. So your legs are kind of in triangle legs here, both feet grounded. Head down towards the knee. If you need to bring that back foot in a bit, do so. Bring the left hand to the hip. stack, left shoulder on top of right. So we're into a kind of pyramid pose here. And then lift that left hand up. So it's like triangle, but it's pyramid because the legs are staggered. They're not linear. Bring that left hand down to the earth or a block. I'm going to use a block on its edge. Right hand to right hip. And this time stacking right shoulder on left. That's a big stretch in that left groin. Lift that right hand to heaven. Bring the hands down to the earth or block. So I'm using blocks. Bend the right knee, lift the back heel. And then reach up, warrior one. Warrior twist here. Right hand forward, left hand back. Keeping that right knee nice and stable. Inhale, come back through warrior one. And then revolve, twist, left hand forward, right hand back. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot high to the sky, three-legged dog. Same sequence. Big step forward with that left foot. Keep the right knee lifted, hands under the heart on blocks or the mat. And come into your cat and cow here. Really drop that right hip as you look up, lifting the chin. Feel that stretch in that back leg, back hip flexor. And then round the back, drop the chin round. Feel that front leg straighten out a little bit. You'll feel the hamstring pick up the load on that front leg. Let's try that again. Drop the back hip, lift the gaze. And then round. And as you round this time, you're going to walk the hands back. I'm going to use blocks again for pyramid until my back heel is on the ground. Both legs straight. Left hand on the ground or block. Right hand to right hip. Stack right shoulder. Lift up into pyramid. Right hand to heaven. That's it. Revolved pyramid. Right hand to the block of the earth. Left hand to left hip. Open up that chest. Stack shoulder on shoulder and then hand on hand. Exhale, bring that hand down. Step back, downward dog. Bring the head forward, come through Vinyasa here. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, walk back, inchworm, forward fold. So hands come to feet, not feet to hands. Inhale, reverse swan dive with the quads and the thighs, not the back. Exhale, reach up, come into prayer. Should be feeling warm by now. So let's do a similar sequence based on warrior 2 instead of warrior 1. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, pike. Exhale, hands to the earth. Walk out, inchworm. Come through your vinyasa. Chaturanga. Up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot high to the sky, three-legged dog. Big step forward. Hands under the heart, but this time drop the heel of the back foot, lining up the back foot with the front foot. Right hand stays on the mat. Lift that left hand up to the sky, sweep it up and over, and then lift the torso up into warrior 2. Feel warrior 2 nice and stable here. Front knee nice and bent. Right knee over right shoulder. Drop the left hand. Reverse warrior. Reverse warrior. Warrior 2. And then come into your side angle here with that right elbow on top of that right knee. Now keeping that right knee bent, see if you can drop the right hand to the floor, left hand above, and then slowly straighten the front leg into your triangle. So this time the hands are already in position, the legs follow suit. Now bring the left hand down to the ground or a block. I'm going to use a block. Right hand to right hip. We're going to do revolve triangle. Stack the right shoulder over the left and then lift right hand to heaven. Revolve triangle. Float the right hand down. Bend the right knee. Come back, warrior 2. And then windmill that right hand down, step back, downward dog, left foot high. We'll do the same sequence on the other side. Big step forward. Keep the hands under the heart initially. Left foot beside that left hand. And drop the right heel down behind the left foot. Bring that right hand up to the sky and then sweep it over as you lift the torso up into warrior 2. Drop the back hand, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior 2. Reach forward, side angle, resting the left elbow on the left thigh. Right hand over, side angle. Keep that right shoulder back. And now start to straighten that left hand down towards the floor or a block. Straighten the right hand above the left. Now start to straighten the front leg. Coming into your triangle here, Utthita Trikonasana. Drop the left hand down to the earth or a block. I'm going to use a block under that right hand. Left hand to hip. Stack left shoulder on right. And then left hand reaches up, revolve triangle. Exhale. Bending that front knee, sweep up, warrior 2. And then bring down, step back, downward dog. Come through your vinyasa, if you wish. High plank, chaturanga, up dog. And then down dog, walk the hands back to the feet, inchworm, reverse inchworm. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, prayer. So we've got the body nice and warm, the limbs open and strong. A lot of deep work into the shoulders, neck, back, and chest. Also the hips. So let's change up the pace a little bit, moving into a little more stretch, a little less work. Inhale, reach up, swan dive forward. Hands on the hips. We're going to have a little yin finish here today. Exhale, hands to the earth. Walk the hands forward. Inchworm out. Drop the knees, chest and chin. Inchworm. And then come on to elbows into Sphinx. So you might want blocks handy. You might want a blanket handy. So the blanket can come onto the left side of your mat. And you're going to bring the left knee and the left ankle onto that blanket. Now that's really just for padding. If you have a carpeted floor like I do, you don't really need it, but it can be nice. And just feel that in the left hip. Adjust the hips. You'll feel the right hip flexor here as well. Now before we go into this shape, some of you might like to come into a variation with seal pose. Let's see if you want to. Flare the elbows out just a tad, just an inch or so, and bring the hands to the edges of the mat. So you've got a distinct revolved lower arm, and then slowly, carefully straighten the arms, and that's going to intensify the stretch in the right hip flexor, the right abdominal, and the left rotator adductor. So that's just an option here before we come down into crime scene pose. To come into crime scene pose, bend the elbows into goddess arms and turn the head cheek on the earth and relax into that left revolved hip. So there's a letting go now. You've been working strength. Now we want to let go, especially in the left hip and the neck. It's important to look for delicious discomfort, not pain. We're going to be here for a little while. So take your time to relax shoulders, neck, even the fingers and the hands. Let them relax. Imagine you're unconscious in this position, and yet you're conscious of the breath. You can feel the breath because the belly and the rib cage are on the ground. You can literally feel each breath expand as you inhale and relax as you exhale. You might even use that mantra. Expand, I breathe in. Relax, I breathe out. Expand, I breathe in. Relax, I breathe out. A little mind focal point here on the mantra. Expand, I breathe in. Relax, I breathe out. If you're comfortable here, you take the right hand, you take it behind your back. Tuck the waist, tuck the fingers of the right hand into the waistline of your pants if you'd like, so that the right hand goes limp, relaxes, the right elbow goes limp and relaxes, the right shoulder goes limp and relaxes, without the hands slipping off the back. Expand, I breathe in. Relax, I breathe out. Does the breath reflect how you feel? If you're starting to feel relaxed, the breath should be slowing down, becoming more rhythmic. When you start to feel the relaxation percolating through the limbs, into the hips and shoulders and neck, invite the left hand to come behind the back as well. You can rest the left hand on top of the right or on the waist. This will add a little more intensity to the neck, the shoulders, maybe the low back. If, and only if, the shoulders and neck are okay with this, you stay in this position. Bound, double bind behind the back. Are the shoulders relaxing as you exhale? Can you continue to monitor the inhale expansion, exhale relaxation? So the hips constantly open through this whole process. Upper and lower body connected by relaxation. The shoulders and neck connected to the hips in this variation of half frog pose. Releasing the hands one at a time. Lift the head and stack the hands. Forehead resting on stacked hands. Now flare the elbows out a little more so the shoulders are relaxed still. And notice any change of sensation in the hip, in the neck, in the shoulders. And start to roll the head from temple to temple. Notice how the neck feels as you roll it out after that long twist to the left. And once again, you can stay right where you are, or if you like to come with me through Sphinx, propping up the elbows under the shoulders. Once again, we're adding a lot to that left hip, really opening it up. Flare the elbows out slightly, hands even more. Squeeze the buttocks and option to come into your seal. And then come back down through Sphinx, back to crocodile. Bring that left knee back onto the mat for a moment. And just relax with the head down. And feel how that left hip has opened up. Walk the knees back towards each other, curl the toes, press up onto all fours. Aware of the left hip, just aware of the left hip. Come into cat and cow. And then slide the left knee into the left wrist. Walk your left foot underneath your right thigh. And walk your right knee back. So you open up that right hip flexor again. Drop the toes of the back foot. So you're in this kind of semi preparation for pigeon. But we're going to transfer it to deer pose. So just feel that left thigh. Hands are supporting you. You can use blocks if you like. I'm going to move that blanket out of the way for now because I want to roll onto my left sit bone. Boom. So I'm leaning left. Left hand props me up. I'm leaning left. Left hand's off the mat. Right hand is. Take the right hand and push the right foot up until the shin is parallel to the top of the mat. Scoop the flesh from the left side of the belly with the right hand and come onto your left elbow and then the right elbow. Just feeling that on the left outer thigh. So we're still on the left hip, left low back, except we're coming in the opposite direction. Bend the right knee a bit so the back leg is no longer straight. Just hang out here. Let the weight of the ribs come down onto that thigh a little more. Lift the crown of the head forward a little more so you feel a little more stretch in that left piriformis, that left glute. And if you feel comfortable, straighten out the arms. Walk the hands out further and further and further until you have the full variation of deer here. The antlers reaching right out above the head. And then walk the hands back slowly, propping you up. Lift up that left hip, come back onto your left shin. Come into that semi-preparatory pigeon. And if you'd like a little pigeon here, come down and rest the head on stacked hands or fists or the mat. Lift the head, lift the hands. Walk that left knee back to tabletop. Cat and cow here. And then straighten the legs, come down onto your elbows into Sphinx pose. We're going to do the other side this time. So your blanket needs to come onto the right side of the mat. And you bring the right knee and the right ankle out to the side. Notice how the right hip feels. Close the eyes and take a few breaths here so we can really feel how does that right hip feel after all this time. If it's feeling a little tight, you might just hang out here or come down into crime scene pose. If you like a little stretch before crime scene pose, flare out the hands and slowly straighten into seal. So you feel that in that right side. So I'll have my back to you for the rest of this as we come into crime scene pose. Flare out the elbows, turn the head. Now remember, the secret of our yin, once we've established delicious discomfort, the secret is relaxation. And because the breath is constantly relaxing on the exhale, that little mantra can help us relax even more every time you exhale. So a new mantra here could simply be, I relax even more. I relax on the inhale, even more on the exhale. I relax even more. So giving the body and the mind this constant refrain of letting go, of softening, of melting, of relaxing, going limp, more and more. Until you get this sense you're both conscious and unconscious. You're unconsciously letting go as if you were falling asleep, and yet you're conscious of every breath, of every new, deepening, relaxation reminder. Check in with the neck on this side. Is it appropriate your head is twisted? If the answer is yes, take the left hand behind the back, tucking the fingers into the waistline of the pants, and you can see a good view of that. Left shoulder relaxes. Left elbow relaxes. Left hand relaxes. So there's a deep relaxation in that half bind. The secret to yin is the relaxation. Over long periods of time, holding the shape and breathing. The right hip is open, the left hip flexor is extended. Now you might take that right hand into a double half bind, handcuff position. And don't fight it, don't resist it. If it's too much, bring it back. Otherwise, relax right shoulder. The neck will feel that. Relax right shoulder blade. Right elbow. Right wrist. And the fingers of the right hand. Breathe and relax. Expand. Inhale. Relax. Exhale. I relax even more. Five more breaths on this side. When you're ready, release the hands. Bring the hands back to the top of the mat. Lift the head. Flare out the elbows and rest the forehead on the stacked hands. Keep the right knee extended if you can into that half frog. And then start to turn the head gently from side to side. Releasing particularly the right side of the neck. Check in with that right hip. Propping yourself up, elbows under shoulders, center sphinx, with that right knee still extended outwards. Relax into the right thigh, right hip. You might still move the head and neck gently just to keep relaxing the neck. And then you decide if you want to come up into seal pose with that knee extended. So flaring out the hands to the edges of the mat and then carefully extending the arms. That should feel a lot better after that long hold. Left hip flexor wide open there. Drop the elbows, drop the hands, rest the head, bring the knee back onto the mat. Inhale up to tabletop. Cat and cow. Now when you feel angry cat, you might feel tightness in the low back. That's because we've been in back bends for so long. A lot of back bends here today. Slide the right knee to the right wrist. Pivot the right foot under the left thigh. Walk the left knee back in that preparatory pigeon. So you feel that in the right glute. Walk both hands to the right, drop the right sit bone. So you're leaning to the right, push that right foot up, shin parallel to the ground, bend the back knee. Left hand scoops the flesh from the right side of the belly. Come onto that right elbow. And then if you can, left elbow. If you can't, you can always bring a towel or a blanket under the left elbow. So we're getting that low back release into the glutes on the right side. The ribs pressing down onto that front thigh. Relax the head. You might even continue to gently move the head in different positions, making sure the neck is good. And as is the practice of Yin, you're patiently waiting for the body to relax in this position, to sink, to let go even more. You can keep the mantra going. I relax even more. And then wait for it. When you feel the body let go even more, you can start to walk the hands out away from the head. Head comes down closer to the ground now. We start to extend and reach. Crown of the head comes forward. You feel more sensation. You feel the breath against that front leg. Walking the hands back. Straight arms. Come up slowly. Walk the hands to the left until the right hip comes off the ground. Right knee still on the ground. Left leg back behind you into your classic pigeon preparation. And then you can come down onto your elbows. You can stack the fists or hands or bring the head all the way to the mat. Into your pigeon. Inhale, lift the head, bring the hands back, sit on the butt, bring the legs to the top of the mat and prepare for Shavasana. And you can take whatever variation of Shavasana you like. I'm going to use the bolster under the thighs because we did so much back bending. I think I want that little extra support on the low back. You could lift your calf muscles up onto a chair or up the wall if you like. Notice if your head needs support with a blanket or towel or not. And as best as you can, try to have the palms face up, keeping the chest open. Now, in the spirit of Yin Yoga, start to relax the toes. You can go through each individual toe on each foot if you like. Or you can collectively relax all 10 toes or 5 toes at a time, one on each foot. Just the toes. Let them relax. And as if relaxation is an inner substance, almost like warm water filling the toes. Let that warmth spread across the top of the foot, top of the feet, through the arches into the heels and ankles, Achilles tendon. So the whole feet, like you've dipped them in warm water, from the ankles down are relaxing. As the feet relax, feel the warmth spread up through the shins, the calf muscles, right up to the knees, covering the knees, top of the knees, back of the knees, covered in a warm bath of relaxation. And the lower legs so relaxed that the warmth, the relaxation spreads into the thighs. Hips. Belly and waist. So from the knees to the navel, from the knees to the low back, all 360 degrees, relaxing, letting go. Soaking upwards into the ribs, the low ribs. From the front of the body all the way around to the back. The mid-ribs, the heart. Shoulder blades. The warm relaxation moving up past the shoulder blades into the shoulders, the back of the shoulders, the top of the shoulders, the collarbones, front of the shoulders. And the arms immediately, like they're under warm water. The limbs, the arms completely submerged in that relaxation. Warming up through the neck, throat. Just feel all that relaxation surrounding the temples, the ears, the back of the skull. So just your eyes and nose peeking out of that warm relaxation. Just the tip of the nose, breathing in the fresh air. Feeling the cool air. Feeling the sensations as you breathe in against the roof of the mouth. attention back to the breath. In, out, breathe, relax, smile, letting go. This next breath filling you up. Gently let the arms and legs stretch. Feel the limbs. Feel the connection to the body of the limbs. Shoulders, neck, head, back, chest, hips. You might even grab the knees and rock from side to side, gentle rock. And then find fetal pose, curl up, fetal pose. And make your way up to a comfortable seat. Take your time. Notice your posture. Notice your energy. And this world full of trouble, notice the sanctuary of your practice. A place to come back to restore, renew, refresh. Namaste. Thank you.